Good morning, everyone. It's Cynthia with your daily tarot card of the day. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you being here. This week we're working with the Healing Earth Tarot, and I have information about this deck in the description box below. And just a heads up, I'm tuning into the daily general collective energies for the day. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. These messages are timeless, so whenever you're inspired to watch, there's likely a message here for you. But above all else, I invite you to tune into your own intuition, your own higher self, your own spirit guides, so that whatever card comes up, you might receive your own personal messages and insights. One more shuffle and then cut. Okay. As you will, Spirit. As we will. The Eight of Crystals. Lovely. I like the crystal steps. And it reminds me of that Maya Angelou poem. Is it Maya Angelou? I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Story. That's what came to mind. I don't know if that's relevant for anyone. But the Eight of Crystals, much like the Eight of Swords in other tarot decks, is really about recognizing the cage door is open. It's not locked. So whether she's in some kind of strange ecstasy, or whether she's, with her arms raised, calling out to the heavens for help, and we see the lightning flashes coming in for inspiration. And the yellow up here looks like sunlight. And the green down here is there's flowers blooming around it. So there's this sense of, all right. The message I'm getting is sometimes we find it difficult to see a solution or a way forward simply because we have gotten so comfortable and so used to being where we're at. So it seems like today's energies are a challenge to either our limiting beliefs or definitions that need to be adjusted. I'm hearing working definitions. So how we're defining, how we're labeling or judging, this is good for me, this is bad for me, in different situations in our lives. The measuring stick that we've been using in terms of our standards and boundaries, this is how I am, this is how I respond to things, or I don't like this and I like that. Preferences, all of these definitions that we use to identify ourselves, some of them do need to change, believe it or not. As we as people grow, we need to change these things, Our taste buds grow over time. You can be a kid and remember, hating vegetables, and then, you hit your 20s or 30s and maybe you start actually appreciating salad. How many people in their 20s and 30s been like, I'm perfectly healthy and I've never eaten a vegetable in my life? Because they hung on to that definition from their childhood that it just doesn't, and it made every experience, no matter how that vegetable was cooked or not cooked or seasoned or whatever, it made them insist upon not needing or wanting that thing when they could have been missing out on, huge experiences. That's not to say that we can't hold on to certain things. I mean, if that's our favorite and that's our preference, then that's fine. But what this card is showing us means that in today's experience, with today's energies, some very practical, maybe not so simple, but I'm hearing simple, definitions, beliefs, the way we identify ourselves. If she's going to identify herself as a caged bird, she's not going to see a way out. So everything she wants has to be contained inside of that cage. So she might be singing a sad song, a joyful song, a hopeful song. And if that's what she wants, then that's wonderful and it's beautiful. It's a wonderful experience. But the crystal stairway out of it is indicating that she actually wants to have this broader experience. And the lightning bolts are indicating that there's actually a pure heart desire or a true soul desire to have the freedom, not the freedom of expression that's been defined by the cage, but to have a greater freedom of expression that can come from singing in, mid-flight, whatever the case might be. Interesting analogies I'm getting. But, this idea that, there could be some limiting beliefs or some challenges, and it helps us to look at where we might be holding ourselves back because we think that even if it's uncomfortable and not necessarily our preference, it's easier or less frightening to stay where we are and to continue to identify with the circumstances as they are than it is to break free of that, to go after what we really want, to, change a little bit of who we are, to grow into our new self or as a person in some fashion. So there's really an energy here of looking within and seeing how you feel, maybe even noticing it in your body. Sometimes, like, do your shoulders tense up, suddenly your ears are in your shoulders because you've gotten that tense. Or are you rounding your shoulders and crunching your body? Is your posture folding in on itself? It's almost like a protective gesture. Or are you constantly distracting yourself? Either, with just about anything, right? The world is full of distractions because you don't want to do the thing or think about the thing or make the phone call or what have you. Like, there's certain, and is it really important that you do that thing? Is it really important that you make that phone call? Gauging the value that something has to us, our motivations and intentions, in terms of what we think is important or what we think we have to take care of or be responsible for, where we put our time and attention and energy. So there seems to be some kind of an evaluation here in order to get us to shift our identity a little bit and recognize either where we're holding ourselves back or where we're unnecessarily blocking ourselves. Because it's from that place that we can make the clear decision of, I like staying in the cage and I want to be there. That's comfortable to me and I full well know that I'm doing it and I'm going to sing whatever song I want to sing. Or, wow, I can't believe that the door was open the whole time and I didn't know. I really do want to leave. Let me follow this and feel my way down this trail, because I really do want to have that expansion or have that level of growth. So, whether it comes to you in a dream or through meditation, this inspiration, or some kind of sign or synchronicity, or whether the universe presents you with a person or a situation or something else that is calling you to take a look at where are you not doing just because you don't feel like really putting in the making the change, or like where is your fear making you step away from what you want because of whatever reason, right? How are you defining that for yourself? Because it's not good or bad. So there's no judgment here. Okay? Don't judge yourself. I'm not judging you. I do it too. I see it in myself all the time. But, and everybody does this. It's a part of motivational mechanism in modern human cognition. For whatever reason, our definitions, our limiting beliefs might be called up today, just to get us to evaluate, okay, what do we really want to do next? What are we really going to do about this situation? Is that thing worth it? Do I really want that? Do I really want this? So today's energy definitely might call up in they said simple. So it might not even be as complex as any of these examples sounded, but it could be simple, straightforward, and then you have that aha moment and you're like, oh, look at what I'm doing to myself. I hear you self-talk. And then you can take a moment to step back from that and shift your perspective, shift your mindset, and try and make your way through that, disentangle whatever that entanglement is. Or at least recognize it and be like, okay, I see that it's there. I don't know what I'm going to do about it yet, but I see that it's there, and kind of allowing yourself even that grace to recognize that something is tangled up or that something is there. That might be the thing. It might not even be that you change it today or that you step away from it. It might just be to say, okay, that fear is there. I'm not going to get rid of it overnight, but at least now I know that that's the fear that's there. And then you'll be able to integrate and maybe slowly untangle and heal whatever that is. So a quite beautiful energy. I wish you all a lot of peace and blessings, and I certainly hope that you find clarity in recognizing that the door is open, that you are a beautiful being who can choose who and where and when to be, who and where and what you are, and that the universe wants to support you in that and wants you to see yourself clearly. So I wish you a lot of peace and blessings, and I thank you so much for being here with me. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.